What happened to Jose Feliciano?
Jose Feliciano Garcia was born in Lares, Puerto Rico, and raised in New York City, Spanish Harlem. As a result of hereditary glaucoma, he was born blind. He had his first public appearance at the Teatro Puerto Rico in the Bronx when he was 9 years old. Harold Morris, a staff music teacher at the Lighthouse School for the Blind, taught him classical guitar as a youngster. At the Retort, a coffee shop in Detroit, Michigan, he had his first professional contract performance. His vocals were influenced by Ray Charles and Sam Cooke. Jose Feliciano was discovered by Jack Summer, an RCA Victor executive, and signed by the label. Everybody Do the Click, his first single, was released in 1964. It became a hit in the Philippines at number 2, staying 14 weeks in the top 10 hit parade. This was the start of a string of hit singles, albums, and gold records. La Copa Rota, La Cárcel de Sing Sing, and Extraños en la Noche are among his most popular versions. Feliciano was supposed to perform in the United Kingdom a year later, but the authorities wouldn't let his guide dog, Trudy, in unless she was quarantined for 6 months. The strict quarantine restrictions in place at the time were designed to stop the spread of rabies. Devastated by their conduct, Feliciano wrote No Dogs Allowed, a song about his experience that became a Netherlands top 10 hit in 1969 and described the narrative of his first trip to London. Feliciano performed a live broadcast on the pirate radio stations Radio 227 and Radio 355 on board the MV Lazy Fair off the British coast on July 16, 1967. Less than a month before the stations were to be shut down by the UK's Marine Broadcasting Offences Act. He also appeared with Dusty Springfield on a popular British television show and recorded a rare song for RCA in England called My Foolish Heart, which was the A-side, and Only Once, which was the B-side, and it was played on London radio. On June 4th, 1967, Jimi Hendrix came to the stage at London's Speakeasy Club and complimented Feliciano on his incredible guitar skills. Feliciano, now a household figure throughout Latin America, relocated to Los Angeles after 2 more hit albums. He met RCA Victor producer Rick Gerard, who was also producing Harry Nilsson and Jefferson Airplane at the time. They collaborated on the hit album Feliciano, which featured the Doors song Light My Fire. By that time, Feliciano's style had definitely established itself as an original crossover musician with soul, folk, and rock influences, as well as a strong Latin flavor. In the summer of 1968, RCA issued California Dreaming as the debut single, with Light My Fire as the B-side. That song on the flip side was enjoyed by a DJ behind the microphone at KJR Radio in Seattle, Washington, so he played it on the air and it took off, reaching number 3 on the US pop charts with over 1 million copies sold in the US market alone. The song went on to become a number 1 success in a number of countries, including Canada, Brazil, and the United Kingdom, earning it a gold disc. Feliciano received 2 Grammy Awards for Best New Artist of the Year and Best Pop Male Performance in 1968 as a result of his popularity, establishing him as an avant-garde pop sensation with his unique crossover approach from Latino music to English-language pop rock. He is credited as being the first virtuoso classical guitarist to introduce the sound of a nylon string guitar into the pop rock arena. Robbie Krieger, guitarist for The Doors, has praised the cover of Light My Fire. Feliciano was invited by Detroit Tigers broadcaster Ernie Harwell to perform the Star Spangled Banner at Tiger Stadium in Detroit during Game 5 pre-game ceremonies of the 1968 World Series between the Tigers and the St. Louis Cardinals on October 7, 1968, during the height of anti-Vietnam War protests. In the months and years that followed, his individualized slow Latin jazz performance proved immensely controversial and devastating to Feliciano's career. Feliciano's World Series version, which features Feliciano accompanying himself on acoustic guitar, was released as a song and charted for 5 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 50. It was the first time the national anthem of the United States had charted in the United States. The national anthem recording is currently on permanent display in Cooperstown, New York's Baseball Hall of Fame. Feliciano recorded 2 more albums with Rick Gerard in 1969, 10 to 23 and Alive Alivo, both of which received gold discs. He also recorded the theme song Old Turkey Buzzard for the McKenna's Gold movie soundtrack with Quincy Jones, and he was featured on various U.S. television shows, performing duets with Johnny Cash, Bing Crosby, Glenn Campbell, Andy Williams, and Diana Ross. In 1970, Feliciano collaborated on a Christmas record with Rick Gerard, originally titled José Feliciano, and designed to look like a Christmas present wrapped in gold with a large green and red bow. Later, the album would be renamed after its most improbable selection, José's piece Felice Navidad. José dismissed it as ineffective, but he began reminiscing about his youth in Puerto Rico, and Felice Navidad was born seconds later. And that's how most people have probably heard of him. Felice Navidad has been covered by a slew of artists all over the world, and has become a staple of the Christmas musical scene. Felice Navidad comes to the radio every year during the Christmas season as one of the most played and downloaded songs of the season. Felice Navidad is included in the Grammy Hall of Fame and has been named one of the top 25 most played Christmas songs in the world. In 1971, he traveled to Italy to compete in the Sanremo Music Festival, singing the Italian song Che Sarà, and receiving a standing ovation from the audience. José later recorded the song with Rick Gerard and became a hit in Italy as well as throughout much of Europe, including the former Soviet Union and Asia. They recorded in Spanish as Que Sera, which went on to become a hit in Central and South America, and English as Shake a Hand, which went on to become a hit in Scandinavia. Feliciano wrote and sang the theme song for the 1970s comedy series Chico and the Man, and appeared in one episode as Chico's cousin, musician Pepe Fernando. He acted in and scored for television shows and films in the 1970s, including McMillan and Wife, Kung Fu, and the soundtrack for Aaron Loves Angela in 1976. He's also appeared on several other artists' albums, including Bill Withers' Justments, John Lennon's Rock and Roll, Joni Mitchell's Court and Spark, Michael Nesmith's Tantamount to Treason Volume 1, and he's also worked with Carlos Santana, Cat Stevens, and Paul Simon. Feliciano's jazz funk Latin instrumental tune, Affirmation, was released a year later by jazz guitarist George Benson on his hit album Breezin', on his final RCA album, Just Wanna Rock and Roll. José made his Iron Current debut in Prague, Czechoslovakia, in early 1974, sharing the stage with Czech hero Karel Gott. In 1979, he recorded an impromptu duet with rhythm and blues singer Minnie Riperton of his 1968 hit Light My Fire. The duet was unplanned according to Feliciano, which is why he isn't heard until the second half of the song. His manager also persuaded him to make a Spanish album during this time. Enseñas Amor was a great smash in Latin music and was nominated for a Grammy. Feliciano collaborated with Lasker and Schultz at Motown on 2 albums, both of which were nominated for Grammys for Best Latin Pop Performance. He sang a duet with popular Mexican artist José called Por Ella, which became a Latin success. Feliciano played guitar on the All This Love album by DeBarge in 1982. With the Berlin Symphony Orchestra, he performed 2 concerts in East Germany in 1987, one in Leipzig and the other in Berlin. On December 1st, 1987, Feliciano was honored with the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 1987, he had a hit in Austria with The Sound of Vienna, which stayed at number 1 for 4 weeks. Under the alias JF with a question mark, he recorded a dance record in English called Going Crazy, released by MJM Records in 1994. The Banco Popular de Puerto Rico created Guitarra Ma, a special tribute to José Feliciano, which was broadcasted in Puerto Rico in 2000. The last shots of the special saw her giving her kid a standing ovation, which she had received a month previously for the occasion. Soundtracks of My Life, his first English-language self-penned CD, was published in 2006. He performed Old Turkey Buzzard, the theme song from McKenna's Gold, on The Late Show with David Letterman in 2007. Feliciano was a featured guest on Daryl Hall's webcast Live from Daryl's House on December 15, 2010. He sang his version of the Star Spangled Banner at Co-America Park in Detroit in May 2010. In 2012, he announced the release of The King, a homage to Elvis Presley that he co-produced with Elvis's best buddy George Klein, and was released on Johnny Phillips' Selecto Hits label. Howard Pearl, John Guggenheim, Juan Cristobal Lozada, Wyclef Jean, Billy Ray Cyrus, and others were among the producers he worked with. In 2013, he was asked to sing God Bless America during a New York Yankees game at Yankee Stadium in the 7th inning. In May, Feliciano returned to his motherland of Puerto Rico, capping out his golden anniversary year. Feliciano delivered the keynote presentation at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History on Flag Day, June 14th. The Detroit Tigers baseball organization invited him to play the Star-Spangled Banner again in September, as he had done in 1968. This time, instead of overtones of 1968's Wrath and Animosity, the concert was welcomed with cheers from an ecstatic, appreciative audience. Feliciano was invited to appear on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show in January 2019. Anthem Records recorded a studio version of En Me Viejo San Juan, which was published on June 7, 2019. Miranda's Flamboyant Arts Fund will receive 20% of the revenues, which supports all aspects of the arts, including music, theater, visual arts, dance, literature, and youth art education initiatives. And as of November 2021, he has a few shows lined up in the next few months. He has a couple shows in 2021 and a couple in 2022. I don't know if he'll go on tour anytime soon. He hasn't announced anything as I'm recording this, but who knows? He's still performing some shows. It's good to see that he's still performing every now and then. He's still out there, and he sounds pretty good. And that's what happened to Jose Feliciano. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know, who do you want me to do next on this channel? And if you want to listen to some of my favorite Jose Feliciano songs, the playlist should be on the screen right there. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video.